I gotta get up. I've been laying down all day. I've been laying down all day, but I need it because the last like 2 weeks have been a whirlwind of appointments. Aaron had 2 appointments this week. I had 2 appointments in one day. Um, and then other business to tend to that I always attend to. One of those being lunch. But so today I really did need the rest. But I was thinking about that video from last night, and it wasn't last night. I don't know. My days are blending together. Because that night I didn't really sleep that well. Excuse me. But, in this whole thing, like, there's so many things that I can forgive. I'm very forgiving. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very forgiving person. And, like, sometimes I'll sit and I'll think on uh, some of the things that I've said, because I've mentioned this too, like, how I would like speak well of my children's fathers sometimes, and the bare minimums that they were doing, you know what I'm saying? And I would speak well, and how looking back on that shit makes me sick, you know what I'm saying? Because like I know that they weren't the best, okay? And I still tried to find ways to lift them up, right? So one of the things that I've been thinking on, and that has really like fucked with me, okay? I'm just sharing the things that, as you go through the process. Excuse me. One of the things that I would do with G sometimes is I would like speak very uplifting or things that I loved about him, you know? And one of those things that I always say is, I just always appreciate that you've never called me crazy to my face. Because I know you call me crazy behind my back, but up until a point, he had never called me crazy ever, ever, not once. And then, recently he has called me crazy. And now I can't forgive it. Sorry. As someone who has been attacked in this way and constantly called crazy, constantly called delusional, it's gotten to the point where I've called myself delusional. Like, I'll say something like, oh God, I'm delusional, but I'm not. I know I'm not. It's been, verified over and over and over again. I do not have schizophrenia, I do not have actually any other mental disorder other than PTSD. And so that's not crazy. PTSD is a result of somebody else doing something to you. You know what I'm saying? PTSD ain't something you're born with. You know what I'm saying? You could be born with borderline personality disorder. You could be born with bipolarity. You could be born with those things. Those things can also be developed over time and through trauma. And I do not have those things. It does not mean that I haven't been diagnosed with it or anything. But what the last two therapists have told me in regards to it when it's brought up is that the chances that I was misdiagnosed are more likely because I did not have a grasp of what was going on during the time. Especially because of the gaslighting. If somebody's calling you crazy and they're telling you that something's wrong with you and they're telling you how you're perceiving things is wrong, then when you go in there, and I actually started my channel with this. Oh my gosh. Well, hello to you too. I started my channel with this of when they're gaslighting you like that, when you go into therapy, you're talking about all the bad things that you did. And all the bad things I did was just, when I'm reporting on stuff, there was no one saying, well, what did they do? What did they do to make you act like that? It was all just, I'm just overreacting. I'm just bad. I threw something, And so I've had two therapists now, verify that chances are I was just misdiagnosed. I probably never had borderline personality disorder, and I was probably never bipolar. But when I'm sitting here and I'm thinking on something that really like broke my heart about this recent situation, which is not actually that recent anymore. It happened in April. We are now in November. I'm not healing very fast, but I mean, when you put everything into a situation trying to fix something that wasn't broken, and then you end up the one broken, yeah, I'm kind of out of steam. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to take it one day at a time, be slow with it. But it really hurt me. It really bothers me that I repeatedly told you how grateful I was for you never calling me crazy to my face. And then now you've done it. And that was like something I was really grateful for, because I know that I didn't always act right. You know what I'm saying? I've never sat here and just said I did everything perfect. I put a lot of blame on myself for a lot of things, and that's why I was always trying to fix shit. One of the focuses in therapy, um, one of the focuses that I have in therapy all the time is she wants me to stop fucking coming in there, because I still do it. I've mentioned it, and I still do it. She just brought it up again. When I walk up in there, I'll sit and I'll just talk about all the bad things I've done. This week I smoked a cigarette. A couple years ago I did this. And I might talk about something I did a couple years ago like 3 times. You know? And she's like, well, let's focus on why you keep doing that. Why do you keep doing that? Because everybody keeps telling me I don't take accountability. So I just want to make sure that I'm taking accountability by making sure that I say everything that I've ever fucking done wrong in my life. You know? And so that has been something I'm working on, because it's almost like I am taking the bat to myself, you know, constantly. It's not necessarily healthy, and it's not necessarily unhealthy. You know, there's a balance. And I'm just like very much tipping the scales with that behavior. But it's because of people who have been calling me crazy since I was a little girl, just because I didn't cry at a movie theater, you know? I didn't cry at the movie theater, so I'm crazy and there's something wrong with me, and I need, you know, I have emotional issues, you know? If somebody's been doing that your whole life, there was so much, even though things weren't going well, and even though I wasn't being treated properly, that little piece right there, it literally carried the relationship. The fact that you never called me crazy carried you. I had so much appreciation for that. I genuinely appreciated it, you know? And now you've taken that away. What's left? You know? What's left? Cuz you haven't really moved differently in any other way, you know? There wasn't much about you that was different. So I had something like, you know, no, you don't treat me right, but you never called me crazy. That's so fucked up. That's such small, like small expectations. But this is just how easygoing I am in the first place. That, you know, you didn't do this, and I really do want that. And, you know, I didn't really lower my expectations because I don't really have any. I don't think, you know, just don't call me crazy. Don't call me crazy, you know? And so that really, that has really affected me, because, like, I don't have anything to be grateful to you for anymore, because there was nothing else. There was nothing else. Thank you for your time. You have a wonderful day, because now I got to get up and actually do something.